Another concept that is deeply valuable when we're talking about this idea of how do we create convictions in the lives of our students is this idea of what are those things, what are the actions in our students' lives that we are celebrating? What are those things that they are doing that we want to elevate? And sometimes we say, what you celebrate, they will emulate. And so it's just this idea that at the end of the day, we tend to repeat and we learn what is valuable to a community based on what is celebrated within the community. And so I remember a friend of mine, Duncan Chance, once when he first got into Chi Alpha, would be around in a circle of guys, and he was just kind of figuring out his faith, and he would say something, maybe an offhand joke or something, and the students around would look at him, and they wouldn't really respond to his trying to make maybe an off-color joke or something like that. They just wouldn't respond, and they would just keep talking and kind of ignore it. But then he would say, "Well, I was reading Tozer a little bit last week," and they suddenly lit up and they said, "What book? What chapter? What did you love about that book? I love that. I love Tozer." And they started just celebrating the fact that Duncan was reading. Well, Duncan would have said at that time, "I'm not a reader." But you know what? Today, Duncan is a reader. And there's a reason for that. And he loves reading ODGs, these old dead guys or gals, the old people of faith that have gone long before us but showed a lifestyle that was something worth emulating. And the reason why those convictions, those lifestyle or those habits, if you will, have developed were because people celebrated those things in him. And so now he is emulating that in his own life. And so as we talk about, okay, I have these kingdom convictions that I'm trying to impart in the lives of my guys or gals, how do I go about that? We talk about the stories that we tell, which are more stories maybe from our community or things that happened that just kind of highlight some principle or conviction. And then we have heroes that we want to elevate because their lifestyles really encompass what we're trying to model as a lifestyle for ourselves in our walk with the Lord. But then when we talk about what you celebrate, this is more looking at them and pulling out those things that they are doing that are really starting to take those baby steps sometimes, but where they're actually acting out the kingdom of God in their own heart and mind. And so what you celebrate in them is what they will emulate tomorrow in their faith. And so let's make sure that what we celebrate are the things that are worth celebrating in them. And let's call out the kingdom of God that is growing, sometimes very small, but something that if watered and if cultivated will grow into a profound component of their life and their faith journey.